Hey everyone, welcome. Have you ever taken a photo where someone's skin looks super shiny, especially on the forehead or nose? Those bright, blown out areas are called hot spots, and they can be very distracting in a photo that looks great otherwise. In this video, I'm going to show you a very simple, easy way to fix hot spots in Photoshop using the Selective Color adjustment layer. No complicated retouching, just a clean, easy method that works. Hot spots usually happen when light hits the skin too directly or the skin is a little shiny or oily. Like I said before, usually you see this on the forehead, nose, and cheeks, sometimes on the chin. The problem is they're too bright and lack detail, so instead of looking natural, they just stand out like crazy. So what we want to do is tone down those areas while keeping the skin looking natural. We aren't removing the highlights altogether, we're just reducing the strength of them. In a lot of projects we do, we might duplicate our main image or convert it to a smart object before starting, but we won't be touching the original layer, so it's not needed for this. First thing we want to do is go down to the adjustment layers and choose Selective Color. This tool lets you adjust specific color ranges in your image. And for hotspots, we're mainly focused on whites because hotspots are usually the brightest parts of the image. So up here in the Properties palette for Selective Color, if you don't have the Properties palette open, you can go to Window, down to Properties, and it will open. So up here, underneath all the sliders, you have Relative and Absolute. We want to keep this on Absolute. This means if we add 10% yellow, we get 10% yellow. If this were on Relative, we would only get a percentage of the 10% yellow that we added. Above the sliders, you'll see the Colors drop-down menu. You want to click that and select whites, since that's what we'll be working on. Under that is where you'll see your adjustment sliders. You have cyan, magenta, yellow, and black, and they're opposite colors. So if you move this from cyan, you get red. If you move it from magenta, you get green. From yellow, you get blue. From black, you get white. So this is how we create different colors to get skin tones to match. The first thing we want to do is slowly increase the black slider. This is kind of the foundation of this method. So by sliding it to the right, you can see that it's filling in the bright spots, which is the whites. Because like the slider does, if you move it from white more to black, then you're decreasing the whites and adding to the blacks. What you want to do is slide it to the edge of where it turns black. So you don't want it black, but you want it to be pretty full. And we can always go back and adjust this later. Basically, what you're trying to do is reduce the brightness. So don't try and make this look pretty. Now let's adjust the other sliders slightly to add some color and make sure the skin still looks natural. This part will be different depending on the color of the image you're working on. For my image, I'm going to add a little bit of yellow just to try and match the tone, and then a little bit of red. And once you get the color matching or kind of where you want it, then you can tone down the black. Again, remember that small adjustments go a long way. And you can turn on the before and after. You can see the dramatic difference, but we're not done adjusting. Right now, this adjustment is affecting the entire image. Usually we only want it to affect the hot spots. So we'll just click on the layer mask of the Selective Color layer. And then we want to invert it. So just click Invert in the Properties palette. That will hide the effect completely. And then we're going to grab a soft brush. Just press B on your keyboard to get to the brush, and you can use the left and right bracket on your keyboard to adjust the size. If you don't know if you have a soft brush or not, you can click on the brush palette up here, and you can see your hardness slider. You just take it down to 0. Then you can adjust the size here too if you want. Now what we want to do is paint over the hot spots. Once you have the brush the size that you want, just make sure that the color is set to white on your foreground color. Then paint only over the hot spots. This way the adjustment is applied only where we need it. And don't worry if it looks a little weird. We're just covering the hot spots right now. And we'll adjust this at the end. Once you've covered all your areas, we'll go back into the Properties palette for the Selective Color layer and adjust the feathering. This will soften and blend the effect in for us. You can also adjust the opacity of this layer if you want, and then turn it off and on to see the difference. I know you can still see the bright areas, but just remember we're not deleting hot spots. We're just minimizing them. We want some shape. We don't want to lose the depth of the face. If at any point you want to adjust the colors, you can just click back on the selective color icon. And if you move the black and white slider, it makes a really big difference. So you can see this makes a really, really big difference, and it's not that hard to do. Here's another example to show how it works on darker complexions. So we'll just add the adjustment layer, click on the button, go to selective color, adjust the black slider first to get where we want. Then let's adjust the color sliders to match the skin tone. We just add some yellow again, and we'll add some red. Once that's done, we click on the mask again, invert it to hide everything, then choose our brush, which we're already on, and paint over the areas we want to affect. And then you can feather the mask if you need to, and then turn the eyeball on and off to see before and after. Once again, it's a subtle effect, but it makes a very, very big difference. Here are a few things to look out for and avoid. Over darkening, skin can start to look muddy or flat. Ignoring color shifts. Just watch out for weird tones if you push the sliders too far. Hard edges, which is why we always use a soft brush when drawing on our layer mask. And it's also why we feather the mask to make sure we are blending smoothly. And last of all, keep it subtle. That's the key. This technique is perfect for portraits, headshots, and anywhere else you need to remove unwanted hot or shiny spots to get a clean, natural looking skin. It's a simple technique, but it makes a huge difference in how your photos look. I hope that helped, and I'll see you next time.